So over the weekend, I got to play the beta for Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. And it's a game that's coming out at the start of April. And the weird thing about the franchise is it's never been critically well received, but have sold millions of copies. And this third iteration seems to sort of bring it to the much bigger scope that maybe the sales warrant. And it's a big open world game with missions, and like in the vein of, like, if you think of something like Far Cry or something like that, where there's outposts and a big open world and all like that, it's got that sort of structure. But the main sort of crux of Sniper Ghost Warrior is completing these missions, and there was two complete in the beta, and the one that I focused on a lot of time was one where you had to find a target and take out the target, essentially. So I, being used to typical open world games, I went in and I sort of tagged a few enemies, and then I went to guns blazing, and I didn't last long whatsoever. And it took me a couple of runs of kind of going, wow, this game is really hard, to realise that this is not what this game is. And I probably should have understood that by the name of the game being Sniper Ghost Warrior. I was just thinking of the word warrior. So I started to sort of find a good vantage point to set out a drone, or, just sort of like better scope the area. And what's really cool, actually, I should mention beforehand, is when you pick a mission, you can open up your equipment and you can pretty much choose whatever loadout you want. Sniper rifles, you can actually have 3 different sniper rifle bullets depending on what you want to use them for. There's weapons, there's gadgets, there's a huge amount of attachments. It's very, very customizable, and that's probably one of the best aspects of this game, and one that I thoroughly enjoyed about it. I was able to mix things up a little bit. I don't think everything was there, but I got to sort of plan my options before even going in. But once I got in, I found this vantage point. There was this house, and it was up on a little bit of a hill. And I went into the house and there was nothing there, and I walked around, and then I lay down and I took out a drone, and as soon as that happened, I got shot from behind and died. They were behind me. They spawned inside the house and then walked outside. So technical, it's not all the way there. Obviously it's a beta, so you gotta give it that. It was just a little funny story I thought I'd mention. But anyway, I started to understand the game a little bit better and better, and then when that happened, I sort of understood the potential this game really has, and it definitely has a lot of potential. It's just not there right now. This was played on the PC. It ran pretty well. I ran at high, not very high. It didn't make a huge difference, but I just thought I'd run at high. It ran at 60 frames a second, and one of the probably the frustrating part was when you aim down the sights, both going into the sight and out of the sight, it chugged. It jumped like 20 to 30 frames every time. No, okay, most times. And it was quite frustrating. Especially when I got spotted and I was pulling out the scope to sort of take out a headshot. And the gunplay actually feels really good. It's just technically it isn't there quite yet. And it definitely feels like a different game. And you've got to teach your head around this. So at the start I wasn't too impressed by it. I was a bit, I don't know, I was just like, okay, I've probably even had enough, I probably won't touch it anymore. But the more I played it, the more I actually understood it and I enjoyed it. I just hope that there are pretty cool set pieces in an open world, and that's sort of one of the problems I thought about beforehand, was that this is a game that's going to be open world for the most part, and I feel like that won't give the design a lot of room to create incredible set pieces that you might get. But at the same time, it was quite cool trying to finding the target and then taking them out, whether that's by being sneaky with a sniper rifle up on a hill with a silencer, or sneaking in past enemies, or headshotting them, or throwing knives at them. Or, as one of the cases when I played it was, I took out everyone in the base, still couldn't find them, decided to go into one of the buildings, walked up the stairs, and there he was on the stairwell, and took him out. And I don't know, it seems like it's got room for sort of maybe emergent storytelling, which a lot of games sort of, I feel, should take precedence sometimes, maybe even over story. This new thing of emergent, like you tell the stories of what you experience rather than the game telling you a narrative. And I mean, this is one of the games where, to me, narrative won't really matter. It's about giving these scenarios, these open areas, these outposts, and clearing them out. That really will give you the best fun. And Sniper Ghost Warrior, it's still got a little bit to go. It's about 2 months from release. If they can optimize it a bit better, make everything feel just a little bit tighter, and visually it's actually quite nice. I just hope the optimization kind of pulls it together, and I think at the start of April, if things sort of go on the right track, Sniper Ghost Warrior could be a game you should keep your eyes on. Well, I didn't think you would, but you did it. You made it to the end of the video, so all you've got to do now to complete this whole task is to maybe check out another video or two if you want, give this video a like, and if you really are a kind person, maybe give the channel a subscribe.